Salute y'all. It's your boy, the insurance junkie, your fiduciary fella, the all-star advisor Alonzo Hall, your social media insurance bro. Back again today to weapon tap on your head with yet another ADH wealth solution. Today, I'm going to be talking about term insurance and the buy term invest the difference philosophy, and some of the flaws in that. But before I continue, make sure you hit that like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share, share, share. Lastly, to contribute to channel growth or to schedule an appointment with a licensed financial professional, the links are in the description of this video. So, buy term, invest the rest. Now, whilst that sounds like, and hopefully, I have a buddy. I think it's the Money Man on TikTok, and he was asking for people to send the flaws in buy term invest the difference. And here's one of the major flaws in buy term invest the difference, because they're telling you the idea is, hey, get this 20 or 30-year term and invest the difference. Number one, they're assuming that you're going to be disciplined enough to consistently invest the difference, and it's going to be the same and or if not increasing amounts over time, that you're not going to sell off or deviate from the original plan. But let's take the human element out of it. Let's say that you are absolutely going to have that discipline and you're going to sit there and do everything that needs to be done and actually get what you need to get got for your buy term invest the difference plan. Great. Here's the thing. Let's say you get a 30-year term. And what you're doing is you're telling your family this. So I intend on, in 28 years, if my investments don't, I expect my investments to do what this person is telling me that they're going to do within 30 years, in 28 years, right? Because if you got a 30-year term, you want to make sure that you're not right on the deadline of the cusp of the timing, right? So number one, you're looking at the fact that you're telling this person that their investments are going to accrete, which means increase or grow, to the point that they're going to be supposedly self-insured, right? So they're not going to need, certain other things, which is malarkey. But what you're saying is, hey, family, if these investments don't do what this agent told me they're going to do, my plan is to pass away in 29 years, right? Or if it's a 20-year term, my plan is to pass away in 19 years. Or if it's a 10-year term, my plan is to pass away in 9 years. You see, when it's actually spoken to you and you use things like math and logic, it starts to sound a little bit different, right? Because what ends up happening is you, again, your investments aren't going to be to the point where you're going to self-insure. If Warren Buffett doesn't self-insure, if Lisa Marie Presley, who inherited $100 million from her daddy, and then she went and bought $45 million worth of life insurance, if they're not self-insuring, what makes you, the average American who is concerned with being a millionaire, think that you're going to self-insure? So now that shit sounds dumb as fuck, right? Because it's like, oh, this investment guy told me that I'm going to be able to self-insure, and the rich don't do that. But he says, oh, only the rich people buy permanent life insurance. I wonder why. I wonder why their families are still rich, right? Lisa Marie Presley, when she died, had technically $35 million worth of life insurance. She inherited $100 million from her daddy, Elvis. Rich. She bought permanent life insurance. She didn't buy term and invest the difference. Did she have investments? Yes. But she bought permanent and invested the difference, because she could also actually afford to invest. But she realized, well, hey, if I buy term and invest the difference, then that means that if I buy a 30-year term, which is what I recommend, but the most commonly sold term is a 20-year term. So if I buy a 30-year term, that means I'm telling my family that if these investments don't grow and balloon extremely well by year 28, because year 29 I'm going to have to take myself out, then I intend on dying by year 29. Because if I live to year 30, that's the end of the term, right? It's kind of like how when we have a presidential term, right? And it's 4 years, right? But, for example, Donald Trump was president from 2016 to 2020. But we know that he didn't even get to be president the entire year of 2020 because Biden gets installed. Yeah, they get installed in the January. But by November, you're out of office, right? So at that 4th year, end of your term, you're no longer president. So that's the same thing with buying a term policy, right? You have a term policy at the end of 29 years. If you don't die by year 29, year 30, that term policy is now worthless. But that's going to be it for today, folks. Make sure to hit the like, drop a comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're made aware every time I release new content. And as always, share. With that being said, wipe ass. Work in progress every day and see success. And wash ass. Work at something hard and see success. And remember, when people challenge you, they don't challenge you to challenge you, but they challenge you to challenge you. Accept the challenge. Salute.